We are now on day 7 of the government shutdown, and at least one conservative Republican is breaking ranks publicly. Marjorie Taylor Greene saying she is not towing the party line on this, that her own adult children's insurance premiums for 2026 are going to double if the ACA subsidies expire. And Trump even suggested yesterday he would be open to health care talks with Democrats to end the shutdown. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, serves on the Oversight Committee. She joins me now. Congresswoman, we've seen a bunch of indicators over the last 24 hours, from Trump saying it publicly to Marjorie Taylor Greene's post to a piece in the Wall Street Journal and even something in Politico now, that there are rumbles within the Republican Party that want to try to come to some deal on the subsidies. Are you hearing anything like that yourself?
Not necessarily. And I just talked to one of my Republican colleagues about 30 minutes ago because I was trying to find out if we were actually going to go back into session next week as my staff is trying to plan what's going on. But I can tell you, we actually discussed that Marjorie was flipping on this because it seems like everything that is important, this child ain't read the bill and has no idea of what's going on. I don't understand why Georgia keeps sending her to D.C., but this is not the first time that she wasn't quite clear on what damage it was that her party was ushering in. But listen, I will take her seeing the light at any point in time. And so, yeah, it's sad that she can only see the light when it directly impacts her because she is elected to represent almost 1 million people. And so not listening to your constituents as they're calling and they're talking about their struggles, but then making it about your children, your adult children, because their premiums are going to go up. Listen, I'll take a yes vote or somebody coming to the table whatever way I can get it. But I just don't believe that that's how government is supposed to work. I don't have any children. When I am governing for the people that elected me. And I don't think that I should be looking at it and thinking, well, because this personally is going to impact me, then maybe I should flip how I feel about it.
Yeah, I should note also in that statement, in all fairness, she did talk about the people in her district who are facing the same. One of the issues right now is that you guys are, when you were saying you're asking about next week, so the House is out, and it was supposed to come back next week. Now it's not coming back next week. What has been communicated about how long the House is going to be out? It seems like the idea is that you don't come back before the shutdown ends, which seems difficult to do if you want to actually negotiate some end to the shutdown.
Yeah, that was my question, because I said, is it that we're not going to go back until and unless the Senate passes the House's version? Because what if the Senate actually does come to some sort of an agreement, right, and the Senate passes a version, then we need to come back. So that particular member did not know, but his stance was that he was like, aren't the Dems going to cave? So, I don't know. I don't work in the Senate, you know what I mean? But I haven't heard anything about any caving going on. And I think this issue is just too important. And, this is actually a really ripe time to have these conversations, because one of the reasons I'm sure that Rep. Greene knows that the premiums are going to double is because this is when people are actually going through the renewal process, right? Yep. This is when most people are signing up for their plans. And so now they are seeing in real time what the estimated cost is going to be. So I do think that is a fight worth waging, because it's not just about Rep. Greene's children. It's about everybody's children. It's about everybody's grandparents as well. And so I think that the Democrats, again, are on the right side of history. And every single time the Republicans have tried to, in some way, get rid of the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare or the marketplace, it is really backfired in the most bipartisan way. And so now that the American people are paying attention and they understand why this standoff is taking place, I'm pretty confident that the American people are standing with the Democrats as it relates to what it is that we're fighting for in this moment.
Quickly, last question for you. Earlier today, Mike Johnson said he would swear in Adelita Grijalva whenever she wants. That was his words, as soon as she wants. And then a few hours later, his office put out a statement saying he's not planning to allow Democrats' newest member to be sworn in until her party agrees to end the government shutdown. One seems to have nothing to do with the other. He could swear her in. They've sworn in Republican members. Do you think this really is about signatures on that discharge petition, the Epstein files?
This is absolutely about Epstein. This is absolutely about Epstein and not wanting to take that vote. It was my opinion that the White House was going to work on getting some of the Republicans off of the discharge. We only have 4. But, you know, another thing about this is that we could be working, Chris. We could be passing actual appropriations bills. The reason that we need a CR is because we've not passed the 12 appropriations bills. So we could come back and do some work, considering the fact that we are getting paid, so that, you know what, they can go ahead and send it to the Senate, and then they don't have to worry about a stopgap. Instead, they would actually have done their jobs.